This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2023 Sunset Trail, model number 242BH. Okay, this is not a floor plan video; it's a how-to. So I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay. Let me open up the kitchen here. So you have obviously a refrigerator. And then you have a pull-out cooktop here. This is the quick connect for the griddle right here. Right, so that has to be plugged in under here, which is right there. So you connect it to the LP quick connect right there to get LP to the griddle. Like so. And there you have it. Okay. You have a power awning with LED strip. You have outside speakers. You have some TV hookup here, TV signal here, and then some power. You want to put a TV out there. One thing to remember on this particular one, the door, when you're putting the awning out, you want the door at a 90-degree angle from the trailer wall, so the arm doesn't hit the door when it's going in and out, so keep that in mind. I didn't mention back there, but you have power stabilizers, so you have a switch here for the two front and then the one in the back for the two rear. It's very simple. Whoops, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how it works when you pick up. It's a good hitch. You have some LED light there. You have a sprayer with a quick connect. I'll show you where this hooks up when we come to the ports, but that's a sprayer. Over there, that's the that's your dump hose, of course. Okay. So, you have a deep cycle marine battery, and there's the kill switch for the battery if you want to shut it off. You have two LP tanks with automatic changeover regulator. This hookup here is just in case you wanted to purchase a Go Power solar kit to charge your battery. That's just a hookup for it if you ever wanted to add that on. Okay. You have a power tongue jack, of course. Okay. This crank right here, the small one, this is for the power tongue jack. If the power tongue jack happens to fail for whatever reason, you can't get hitched and unhitched, you can just pull this rubber plug off of here, put the crank on there and crank it manually like a regular manual jack. Just telling you this is pre-wired for solar, that's all it's saying. So here are your water hookups here. So you have your city water connection right here, which is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You just hook the hose up and you're all set. If you're camping someplace that does not have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. If you're boondocking somewhere, for example, you can still use all your plumbing if you pre-fill the tank. I'll show you where the pump switch is on the inside when we get to that. And this is a black tank flush here. So after you dump your black tank, you leave the valve open, like it says on the sticker, leave the valve open, then you put the hose at the dump station right on there, and turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of the black tank, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. And of course you have a fresh water drain here. It's that white gate valve there. Hopefully you can see that. Alright. Your slide out, just so you know, it's an AccuSlide. There are different kinds of slide rooms. That one's called an AccuSlide. Your power cord, 30 amp and 30 feet long. Your dump valves, gray and black. Gray is obviously sink and shower water, and black is toilet water and waste. We come around the back. First of all, you can see that housing up there tells us that this is pre-wired for a backup camera, so that takes a Furrion backup camera kit if you want to add that on. We have them here, you can get them elsewhere, whatever, but it's already pre-wired for it. You have a ladder, which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states every 60 days you should go up there or have somebody go up there. Look at all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation. Make sure there's no damage to the roofing material or roofing attachments by, let's say, low branches or road debris. It just should be part of your regular maintenance to keep an eye on the roof, so make sure you do that. If you see an issue, take care of it immediately. This is where that sprayer goes that I showed you. Okay, this is your water heater here. Now, let me see if I can get this to open for me. Now this is an on-demand water heater, so it's tankless. I'll show you the controls when we get inside, but it just gives you a non-stop flow of hot water. So it's great when especially when you come down to showers and things like that. You know, the regular 6-gallon water heater never has enough water. This will just keep giving you hot water. This, which he doesn't have open here, all that's behind here is are the hookups for the cable TV, satellite, that sort of thing. That's behind here. I don't have the key in my hand, so that's what's back there. Okay, so let's go inside. It still looks like he's still cleaning in here. Okay, so lights and awning light. So you have your awning switch here. Right? Never leave the awning out unattended if you're not at the campsite. Roll it in. This is your slide out switch here for your slide room, your AccuSlide. The water pump I told you about is right there. Use that to pump water out of the fresh water tank. If you don't have city water, you also use it to winterize the trailer. You have tank heaters on this one, meaning it has the holding tanks. The 3 holding tanks have heating pads on them, and at the elbows by the valves there are also pads. So it extends your camping season. It just gives you a longer camping season because it keeps them from freezing as easily. So okay. And then of course you have your battery charge, fresh water, black. Black too doesn't matter, you just have one black, and so on and so forth, okay? It just graduates up in 1/3 increments. Okay, so here is the thermostat. It works like they all do. You hit the mode button to light it up. Right now we're on cool. Actually, we're on cool high, but the way to always go is auto. Anytime you use an air conditioner, use the auto function. It works much better. But this also controls the furnace, and it has a fan mode where the fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor, right? And heat, that's LP, and of course off. Fan, that's the fan mode I told you about. And then back to air conditioning, okay? It works the same they always do. Your keys are right here, which we normally put there. Maybe it just doesn't quite fit probably. So that's what, oh yeah, it does. So those are your keys. Okay, so your microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood here. So it has a light and of course a fan. All right, your cooktop, or your range actually. You have three knobs here for the 3 burners. This is the sparker. You turn this clockwise to spark it. And then this is for the oven. I don't know if he's got the gas turned on now. We'll find out. Yeah, so it's that simple. The oven is a little bit different in that there's a pilot light all the way at the bottom in the back. Maybe I can spark it so you can see it. There you go. You can see it back there. So you go to the oven knob, go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot light. You depress it. You keep it depressed while you're lighting it. Spark with the other hand till you see the pilot light down here. After it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to operating temperature, and it cycles as an oven does. But when you shut it off, the pilot light goes out, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. You have lights here and oven light there. Okay. Always travel with this shut. Okay. Alrighty. So your TV is more than, it has several functions. It is an FM radio, right? It has Bluetooth, so you can stream from your phone or tablet. You got HDMI in the front and the rear. If you want to go into the system with, let's say, a portable Blu-ray player or something, you can do that. 2 zones for the speakers. Zone 1 is inside the trailer. Zone 2 is outside the trailer. And it's also on a swing-out bracket right here. Okay. Now, let me come around the other side here. This one has a magnet, so it will lock itself into place, so it doesn't flop around when you're traveling. You don't need a strap for it. Okay. Let me look in here to see what else we have. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Here we go. Okay, so that's your hook up there, obviously. So you know. Okay, so where are we here? So, okay, this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector here. It should always be green like it is. It should always be glowing green. If not, get it serviced. That's important. So if it's not green, get it serviced. That'll tell you if you got a carbon monoxide or LP situation. So, okay. Okay, here over here, this is your power converter. Okay. Let me take this off. There we go. Okay. So this is your power converter. It automatically detects what kind of battery you have. You have deep cycle marine battery, which is a wet battery. Now, when you're plugged in, you have 110 AC on this side, right? So you have regular circuit breakers, 110 AC like you'd have at home, and they're all labeled here, right? Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, so you got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled, okay? This is also a battery tender, so when you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery has and needs, and it'll send as many amps necessary to keep your battery charged. So it's also a battery tender / charger. It does that automatically. Of course, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator charges the battery. When you're plugged in, this charges the battery. Okay? That's the power converter. Okay, your bunks, of course. Let me look around here. Okay, so the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Okay. This is the control for your on-demand water heater. So if there's not water hooked up to it, I mean, if you don't have the water pump on, let's say, and it's trying to send water to the water heater, or you don't have city water hooked up, you can't. It won't function. It won't run dry. Let's put it that way. It has to have water. So just so you know that. And basically, it's very simple. You're just going to set the temperature, and once you get your city water hooked up, 115 is pretty typical, and it's going to give you an endless supply of hot water. Okay. Let me look around a little bit more here. Okay, the toilet is a typical RV toilet in that it sits right over the black tank, right? It has a flush pedal down there. You can't use it dry, meaning you have to have chemical and water in it in the black tank directly below before you use it. So RV travel trailer toilets sit right over a black tank. So when you pull in the campground, your black tank's going to be empty because you flushed it when you left the last campground. So when you pull in, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here, you'll put a dose of chemical right in the bowl, then you'll stand on the pedal and let at least a gallon of water flow into the black tank below along with the chemical. Then it's ready to be used. You can't use it dry. If you do, the smell will be terrible. Plus it'll get clogged up. So you always have to have chemical and water in it when you start using it. Okay? It's the same with all RV toilets. Now you can pull the mount here for the table, and you can set the table on these cleats here, and use the cushions to fill the space and turn this into a bed. Okay, plus you got your 2 bunks there, obviously. This is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. So it's a compressor refrigerator, but it runs on 12 volts. Okay. You could pull up the bed, there's some storage underneath. You have TV hookups here. Okay. here and a plug, and then you have a backer plate here. This one, if you're going to mount a TV in here, people usually use like a 24 or something like that, but whatever fits. And you get a bracket, you'll get the one that swings out this way, right? So you can see it from your bed. Always try and spend the extra money if you can, and get the bracket that locks into place when it's closed or retracted. Otherwise, you have to hang a strap, you know, and it just needs cleaner install. So keep that in mind. Your emergency window works like they all do. You pull this up. You're gonna push it all the way through. Then you would grab a hold of this red knob and pull the screen out, and then you can escape during an emergency. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see if I forgot anything. I think we're in good shape here. Yes. Okay. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it. So, first of all, thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Second of all, remember what I said about inspecting the roof. That should be part of your regular maintenance. You're just protecting your investment. It's important to know what's happening on your roof. And right now we're in camping mode, so the antifreeze has been purged from the system, fresh water's in the system, and it's all set ready to go. Okay? Thank you.